found my perfect sound. Can you see the fire in my eyes? Bitch, it's burning out. Lightning in a bottle. I think I just found my perfect sound. Can you see the fire in my eyes? Bitch, it's burning out.
He said 3, 2, 1. I said yo yo yo. How you living? How you feeling? How you doing?
That's your job, and that's
my
mine.
job. That's all that I have to do in this podcast. But this first Shorts Fantasy, in case you're curious why you clicked on the video. Today we have our Dynasty buy sells very early or very late, depending on how you want to look at it. It's January 12th. Divisional round of playoffs comes this weekend. We got some reactionary buy sells opinions, you know what I'm saying? So players that are going to be included in this, some are included in playoff games right now. I know one we brought up earlier. I was going to choose him. Brandon chose him. He snuck him from under my nose. And he had a pretty good game in the wild card. But, yeah, we're just going to label.
I first point out, I'm taking zero conclusions from this game. It wasn't reported by the regular season. Because small sample sizes are a thing.
They are a
That's
thing.
fair.
Carry on. Also, like, how come this background shit works for Ed, and yet me and Brandon look like we were cut out of it?
I have a ring light, so it's I have all the lights off behind me, and then I have a ring light, so it's like just blackness behind me, and then
That's
yeah.
okay.
Because that makes sense. Because we look legitimately
Like a cookie, like
You said
cookie
like a
cutter,
cookie.
like cookie cutter gingerbread man.
I look like I have an afro the way that Eagles
cut
like
your head
it
off.
behind me.
Yeah, it makes me look like I have more of an afro than I already do.
Look like I have way more hair than
Sure. All right. To preface this whole video, though, I just want to put this out there. We're just going to be naming players. Like, we each have a list of players that we're interested to see the other's opinions, right? So,
we'll figure it out.
yeah, but we're just going to name the player individually, and then we're going to kick it to the other people, and they share their
Chase
opinions. Who? Chase Edmonds?
Chase Edmonds.
I think he's a cut. Oh,
It depends on Kenyon Drake's standings for next season.
No, it doesn't. This is a dynasty, Brandon. You don't got all fucking off season to wait. You're jumping on it early.
Well, is Kenyon Drake on his contract year? Right? He is, right?
he's a free agent, yeah.
So, yeah, I'd be interested in doing Chase Edmonds because I like those running backs that have shown flashes, but at the same time are maybe behind someone. So
Running backs that
this
have
is the
proven that they're
time.
better than Kenyon Drake.
This is the time before you start seeing rumors of, yeah, it's confirmed Kenyon Drake is leaving. And even if Drake stays, I mean, Drake has missed a few games, and at the same time, Drake and Edmonds have split the carry. So he would be a solid flex position running back, even if Kenyon Drake stayed. And if they bring someone else in, whether it's a rookie or some other free agent.
Well, they bring someone else in. They're not. Chase Edmonds won't be the Pelican.
Yeah.
Here.
But that's how I feel about it. There's upside there.
My opinion on this is it's shifted, you know. So I liked Chase Edmonds last year. Kenyon Drake hasn't really had the juice, you know what I'm saying? So he's definitely not. I don't think they're bringing it back, and if they do, it's not going to be like a full workload. Like, here you go, take it real quick, because you haven't done anything with it. So, what I think is, I don't think Chase Edmonds is going to be the bell cow, like you just said, Alex. I think Chase Edmonds definitely, at this point, you can sell him off the hype of the fact that, like, when Kenyon Drake was out, and Chase Edmonds had that full workload, you know, 25 carries, and went crazy against the Giants 2 years ago, yada, yada, yada. You can sell him based off of that, plus the fact this offseason, like this previous offseason, what's his name? Cliff Kingsbury came out and said that he sees him as like a starter. You know what I mean? So like you can sell him based off of that as well. So I'm definitely not buying him. I'm going to sell him probably once a report comes out that says like Kenyon Drake's definitely not re-signing with them or something like that. I'd probably look to trade him for like a second, honestly, because I don't think he has much value. It's temporary. It's temporary.
You're out of your mind.
How?
Do you know who went in the second round last year? Go back and look at our dynasty second
I like
round.
players like Zach Moss.
I would still sell him for a second.
Antonio Golden or whatever the fuck that guy's name was. Pretty sure he went in the second round.
I would take a second for him.
You're out of your mind.
I would not. Who's selling you a first for Chase Edmonds?
Out of your mind. And you don't have to trade the guy if no one's giving you good value for him. That's like you don't have to move him.
This would be the most. I get what Ed's saying. You would probably get the most maximum value if you traded him after news broke of Drake leaving.
Yeah, no, not
Like
if
you
all
both
this is
agreed.
second, 'cause he's got more value than a fucking second.
Well, I didn't.
No,
I
he
didn't say
doesn't.
about the second. I would
Oh
look
my
for a
God, you're out of your-
player.
If he
I would
has
look for
no,
a player
Alex.
more than
Out of your mind.
a
You're out of
Drake.
If
your
he's
mind.
if he has more value than a second, how are you not getting a first for him? You're not getting a first for him. I know you're not. Nobody's
Yeah,
getting a
you're
first for him.
not getting.
You're getting a
first.
second at best, and I'm taking that all day.
I would
Depends
take a
who you
player
get.
rather than a
He's
second.
not going to be a starter running back for years. You could possibly get a second round starting running back. I would take that. I would take that dart though.
All
That's
right,
what I'm doing.
Well, what about Gabriel
Throw is like
Davis?
a 25%
Gabriel Davis
chance
for
of
Chase Edmonds.
anything.
What'd you say?
No.
Gabriel Davis for Chase Edmonds.
No.
No, you wouldn't do that.
No.
I mean, Davis went around the second round.
Michael
And that
Pittman
was
went in the
even
second round.
before. Well, and now look at them.
T. Higgins went in
So
the second round.
that's the.
There's players that you can still
there's
get.
potential in. the
T.
second
Higgins
round.
was the first pick of the second round. Honestly, I believe. What did he
Second
go
round
there?
nonetheless. Yeah, he did.
I mean, outside of like him and Antonio Gibson, who else went in the second that like was not shit?
James Robinson probably went undrafted. Well, end of
went
the
undrafted.
first, undrafted.
He went undrafted. Someone snatched him up on waivers.
Yeah.
Well, Ed, if you happen to acquire yourself Chase Edmonds, shoot me a text. I will happily give you a second for it.
All right.
I think I have Chase Edmonds, actually. Or did I? I had him at one point. I might still have him. I'd be
I'll give
willing
you a
to
second.
trade him. I wouldn't do a second. Like I said, I'd go for a player. And I know already that Gabriel Davis is a lower value, so I'll be asking for a player above Gabriel Davis's value. Well, since we're on the topic of Gabriel Davis, what's your opinion on him? Why would you? I know Ed, you like Gabriel Davis. Why would Chase Edmonds not be
I'm selling Gabriel Davis too. I would not buy him.
selling him? Okay,
Yeah.
I thought you were saying buy.
No, he had a good game in the playoffs. He had good games here and there, but I don't think like this was where I'm looking at it as. I'm looking at like this year was kind of Josh Allen's like peak year. Obviously, he's going to still be good, but I think this was like one of the best seasons you could have expected. And I know he's just a rookie and whatnot, but I don't. That offense was just next level this year. Possibly it could still be the same, but I'm not going to buy on that. You know what I mean? I never really liked him that much. I could see like a second rounder for him. Like I would do that if I had Gabriel Davis. I'd sell him for a second rounder. This is my thing. If you have a player that does have some decent production, like a Gabriel Davis, who you got late second, possibly maybe mid second this past year, and unless he wows you, like he actually jumps out, I'm looking to sell him for the same exact capital as you got him for, and then possibly try to take another shot. You know what I mean? And I mean,
Yeah.
people still he performed in the playoffs week, like the wild card. So that's big stage, all eyes on him. He performed. I think you could possibly ship him for second plus, honestly, if people are really interested in him. Because some people are, but yeah, I would take a second for him.
See, you like to flip rookies on the fact that you want the highest amount of potential, and you feel like you could possibly get that potential out of a second rounder rather than a guy going on a sophomore year. I feel as if a lot of players take that sophomore leap. And I think in this situation with the dynamic offense that he is in, like you said, Josh Allen is kind of having his breakout year. And I'm betting on the fact that he stays consistent with it. Maybe not as astounding as he's been, but I could see this offense being a pretty successful offense for the next few years. And he's only in his first season. And he ended the season pretty strong as a rookie. And Stephon Diggs isn't going to be able to do it all year in and year out. And this isn't a team that has always been super effective on the ground. They still do it, of course. They've got running backs to do it, and they got Josh Allen to do it. But I feel like that opens it up for Stephon Diggs, Gabriel Davis. Because who else? I mean, Cole Beasley, he could be effective for 2 or 3 more seasons at best. And after that, you're looking to – I mean, I know that's a slot receiver and Davis is an outside guy, but that's still – his job is safe for at least 2 more years. I believe that.
I believe he's definitely gonna have a job. Like he's definitely probably gonna be wide receiver 3, wide receiver 2. But I don't know. So Josh Allen had 37 passing touchdowns this year, right? That's just a large amount. Like I'm not gonna bet on him to have 35 plus, for the next few years to come. So what I'm getting at is the fact that Gabriel Davis, while still possibly being the wide receiver 2, like the second target, third target on the team, I don't know if he's ever gonna be like a consistent plug, like you just plug him in and he's good. You know what I mean? I would never bet on that. And what I'm trying to get out of a second round pick, if I could flip him for a second and a third, say I hit on one of those, like an actual hit, like a Antonio Gibson for say, or somebody like that. You know what I mean? Like I'm holding that. Like that's a thing you just got for Gabriel Davis. There's no way I'm not taking that. Obviously, that's rare to have, but I mean, I'd rather have a shot than have a player who's just going to be average, wide receiver 3. I'm not looking for wide receiver 3s. I'm looking for top dogs.
Mm-hmm. I think we talked enough about Davis, unless Alex, you got.
I don't really care, honestly.
I figured. I knew Ed liked them. I figured
don't
most
really
of the
watch a ton of Bills games, although it feels like whenever I do, he scores. So I don't really know how to feel about it, but like depending on the second, I might take the second.
That's an early second.
Even if it's mid, I'll take a mid and like a late third. You know what I mean? Something like that. And I was not necessarily adamant about him, but in the offseason, I was interested in him and Isaiah Hodgins. So like I had a feeling one of them were going to have like a decent year, and then you could sell them based off of that.
Yeah.
But yeah. All right, Alex, you want to kick it to you?
Who do I want to go here? But Darnell Mooney.
That's the one I can't talk too much about because I don't know enough about him. I haven't paid, like you just said about the Bills, that's me and the Bears. The Bears just do not interest me in a football team.
They don't interest me either.
Everybody else that's ever lived. Bears.
My stance is kind of shifted. Like, so mid-season, end of season, I was like, buy him at all costs. I mean, he's looked good when he's out there. Nick Foles has missed him multiple times. Mitch Trubisky's missed him multiple times. He's been able to get open. You know what I mean? You've seen the last game of the season. He had 13 targets, 11 catches for an insane amount of yards, touchdown, maybe 2. He looked good. He's been looking good, but I don't necessarily want to sell him because I don't know. Maybe he does blow up. You know what I mean? Maybe he gets into a situation. Maybe the Bears get a quarterback that's, competent and a coaching staff that's better than what it already is, which is not good. Maybe that happens. Maybe that does happen. But maybe they just stay with the same crew. Maybe A-Rob leaves and Darnell Mooney's the number 1. I wouldn't like that. I don't think he's the number 1. I don't think he would. I wouldn't want him to be number 1 wide receiver on the Bears. I would probably definitely sell at that point. Like, because people probably buy off the fact that he is the number 1. You know what I mean? So like targets have to go to somebody. Like, no, even if you throw it to him in double coverage, if he gets 13 targets a game that way, ain't no way I want him. I'd sell him for a second immediately. So like the volume's cool and whatnot.
I don't think people would double him just because he was their like de facto number 1. Not unless he was good enough to warrant it.
I didn't mean coverage wise. I meant like a quarterback throwing into a situation where there's 2 people around him. Like a quarterback gets pressured, not necessarily. I don't know. You just need
those 13 targets and figure out them come.
I kind of do. I wouldn't want that.
But if he's drawing the best cornerback on the field,
that's not
looking good.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
If he gets Jalen Ramsey, you're excited?
He's not getting Jalen Ramsey every game. There's only one Jalen Ramsey. I get it. There are good corners in the league, but if the guy's getting 13 targets and he warrants a good cornerback,
we don't know what you said. You whispered and it was quiet.
Yeah.
that probably means that he's doing pretty good if he met those qualifications.
I mean, it's 13
Way
targets to
overthinking.
not really. It's 13 targets to that wide receiver, or it's 13 targets out of bounds, or it's 13 sacks. I mean, if you have a bunch of replacement level or below decent wide receivers and tight ends to throw to, and so you have Mitch Trubisky, he's going to rely on his number one, no?
Well, I don't know. It's Mr. Trubisky. He's probably just going to suck. But like, I don't know what the Bears are doing at quarterback next year. That remains to be seen. Probably just Trubisky. They're stupid.
They said that they would consider re-signing Trubisky if they had a deep playoff run, but then they lost the first game. So
Yeah,
but Trubisky had some decent throws in that game. I mean, that one was a pure touchdown before it went right between the guy's hands. But it didn't have Mooney, so who knows?
It's true.
Mooney wins in the game.
I'm going to say my next one. So, Ezekiel Elliott. What do you guys think?
I'm selling him if I can get name brand
You would say sell?
price on him because while he'll probably still be a valuable asset for another couple I just feel like he's starting to be on the down slope. But like I'm not selling him like just to sell him. This isn't I'm taking whatever offer I can get. Like, but if I can get like name brand top like number one running back price for him, I'm going to strongly consider it.
So, I want to say I would buy him if someone was trying to just get rid of him. Like you just said, you wouldn't
The
just
problem
let
is
him
I'm
go.
pretty sure I would get outbid in a regular league. I think someone would be willing to pay full price for him, and I'm not sure if that somebody is me.
There are some owners that are fed up with Elliott. I know the person in our dynasty is trying to get rid of him.
Yeah, and I know a few people in our dynasty who would pay a lot for him. So,
Well, it just depends on who gets there first.
well, I mean, I guess that's true, but if the person with Elliott was intelligent, they would voice that to the rest of the group and not just sell him for like the first shitty offer they get their hands on. But I mean, hey, if you can benefit from that.
I like Elliott for next season because after Dak's injury, his snap percentage dropped. He was playing, I think, in the 80s percentage-wise, and then Dak got hurt, and then it dropped to 60 and lower through some games.
Pretty sure some of that was because of some nagging injuries and because of the fact that he could not hold on to the ball. And I don't know if Dak saves him from getting hurt.
No, I see him being a solid asset next year. And if you can get him for cheap, I don't see why you wouldn't.
My opinion is that if you're going to sell, well, I'm selling him. I'm selling for sure. Well, I'm not buying him unless it's cheap, But if you're going to sell him, don't try to grab onto somebody who has some hope for him. You know what I mean? Like, don't. If somebody says anything negative, like, oh, but I don't know if I want him because like he could have like a bad half the season, like the second half of the season last year. If he does that again, like it's not worth this. And it's like if you have that, I think there's no getting through to that person. You know what I mean? Like as far as like negotiations, there's no getting
What if
through to that person.
trying to talk the price down?
What's up?
What if they're just trying to talk the price down?
I'm not letting it happen. I'm selling him on his brand name and the fact that there is hope for some players. Or for some owners.
Away from somebody because they make a pessimistic comment.
Well, if they're having a pessimistic comment and trying to drive down the price, I'm not letting it happen. That's what I'm saying. I'm not.
I get that. That's fair. You don't have to let. You don't want to. If that's what you're trying to say, don't let them drive the price down.
Well, yeah, because that's what they're doing with the statement. Because then they're in their own head at that point.
I'm going to trade him to anyone who's offering me a lot for him, even if it's the pessimist.
Well, obviously, if somebody's pessimist and they offer me 2 firsts for Ezekiel Elliott, why would I not? But I'm saying, like, if they're pessimists, they're likely. That kind of comes with the nature of the fact that they're commenting that way. But
so he's pretty much a hold to you guys. Not really a sell because, like,
Oh, I'm not washing my
you
hands
wouldn't
of him
sell him
immediately.
unless
No.
you get a steal, but yet you wouldn't buy him unless you get a steal. So it's a hold.
I'm probably not.
Pretty much, that sounds like a hold.
I guess I'm a hold. I'm not buying him because
You don't
I don't
think that
see how you
people
wouldn't have
would.
to pay name brand price for him, and I don't really want to do that. So
I'm sure there's at
someone
least
comes
one
along and
person.
offers me him like shit to drop him off on my hands. All right, whatever, fine.
Sometimes if you catch a specific fantasy owner who got fed up with Elliott and they aren't the type to seek trades themselves and they see an offer for Elliott that's
Definitely
a
possible.
little
I've
appealing,
done that
it's
before.
possible, and that's why I have
Sometimes
him
you
as
just
a
gotta
buy.
corner that person and isolate them and
Mm-hmm.
slowly drive their price down without allowing them to talk to other people.
Yes,
Shady ass shit, but that's what you got to do.
it's fantasy.
It's done in this
The
country.
fun of the game.
Fantasy. The fun of
Corner
fantasy.
people and badger them until they say yes.
That's the
Isolate.
move. All right. I'll go into my first one. I haven't gone into one yet. They don't go hand in hand necessarily, but I'm gonna bring up one and then I'm gonna bring up the other after we talk about it. So Tua is the first one.
Hmm.
I know one quarterback leagues and whatnot. It's not that deep of a topic, but I mean,
Yeah, that's a hold for me. I'm not really buying unless I can get him for dirt cheap. But then again, I'm not selling him
That's
unless
how
like
I feel.
someone pays a lot because like as we've talked about before, I kind of threw away Herbert off of like my own opinion, and like, I just decided to not do that. So I'm not going to sell Tua because I don't think I get it.
I agree. Quarterbacks, you kind of just, when you draft a quarterback, like I drafted Tua, and I had zero expectations to ever start him this season. I was just interested in seeing what I got. And I saw him perform, and I didn't see enough for me to be wowed by him, but at the same time, I didn't see enough for me to want to trade him away. So I'm willing to hold on to that asset, just like I did the year prior, and keep hold of him. And just not draft a quarterback this year. And if you are in love with a rookie this year, maybe you do trade Tua or keep Tua and move on from there. But I agree. I would keep him as a hold.
yeah, I'm probably a hold too, to be honest. Unless you can find a person who has him on their team and they're, I guess, scared or just pessimistic and they're thinking of him.
Buy him if it's cheap as shit, just as like
Yeah.
a lot of people get because like the dude I watched at Alabama was a phenomenal football player.
Yeah.
I don't know if that guy plays in Miami anymore, but yeah.
Especially if they do get a weapon, like an actual another receiver outside of.
Shipping guys off to Houston. They're just showing off.
Speaking of
That
Houston,
would be not like. What do you
Huh?
guys think? Who would that? I would like Watson so much if he went to Dolphins. Parker, Preston Williams, Gesicki.
Miami had shitty weapons this year. That's
Yeah.
nothing to get excited over. I like Watson because of the fact that he's Watson. Let's not kid ourselves into thinking that those three names are.
They're top of the line. Preston
He
Williams
said they're
is
top of
really
the line.
good.
Those guys would be good supporting pieces if you dropped in like a Jamar Chase or a Devontae Smith in there. That's good.
So you like Tua? You think Tua would benefit more
What do you mean?
being a Texan? I feel like Texans are the type of organization that would just be like,
Yeah, I don't trust anything that he's doing
go
right now.
out
So
there,
they're
run around. I mean, Watson has done it.
probably
Just run around, make
lower.
plays.
My opinion on him, but then maybe someone wants to get rid of him. Because I don't. If that's the case, I'm in.
My understanding, if Tua was to be traded to Houston and that Deshaun Watson trade and whatnot, I don't know if I've seen this correctly, but I thought that the Texans would be getting their first rounder.
Yeah, I thought I read that too.
There's no way that you would be able to move Tua for Watson without including three. I don't think.
Yeah.
Unless Houston just goes full like Jack Easterby, Bill O'Brien again, and decides they're shipping Hopkins for a second and
God.
Watson for Tua.
Maybe they'll get
Pick.
they might get Matt Breida in it too. That would make it worth it. Tua and Matt Breida.
They would want Gaskins. They would want Tua, Gaskins, and another offensive tackle for Watson and 2 more for me. That's the trade.
All right, moving on from these Dolphins.
Yeah,
Texans.
Well, regardless, I want to.
All right, go on.
I was what's it called? If they did, like, if they were smart enough and took a wide receiver with that pick, that would be pretty neat, I guess. Because then they have Will Fuller and another top wide receiver. You know what I mean? And I think that's pretty good for Tua. I don't know if the whole offense.
All the needs on that team. I don't know if receiver.
I hope not. Being an Eagles fan.
If they did, then Tua's stonks would be crazy.
Honestly, I would think, Brandon, to your comment, I would probably feel like Miami's probably
Yeah.
What?
for keeping Tua if they're smart.
I would think so.
They don't want it.
Well, I'm gonna bring up.
Oh wait. Since we were talking about the Texans, my next player, Will Fuller. Buy or sell or hold?
Buy. I bought him. I already bought him. I didn't wait for the off season.
I feel like the price tag dramatically went up there.
Yeah.
Which is my fear. So, I mean, I'd like to have him, and if I had him, I'd probably hold on to him unless I got like a great offer. And as you'll notice, that's been a theme of mine. But I don't really want to label a player as sell because I did that a few times last year, and I don't agree with some of the choices I made in hindsight. So I'm not labeling anyone. No, if someone blows me away for Will Fuller, I'll take it. But I don't know if his increased price tag is worth me paying.
Well, you just wait until I find the trade I made to get Will Fuller.
The trade you got Nick Chubb too?
I don't. No, I had Nick Chubb before that. It's been a while since.
If you just click on Will Fuller's name, you should be able to just.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you look in his history.
In his history.
Yeah, you what?
I never noticed that.
Hold up. Let me announce it.
Oh.
Okay. No, Brandon, you can announce it. Never mind.
Oh, I have to announce this. This was
That's
better than what I
insane.
was thinking. Holy crap.
What was it in?
So, I received Will Fuller, Colin Johnson.
Hold on. What week was it in?
December 8th.
December 8th. So this was after he was suspended. He was making a playoff run, and this was right before the bye week. Like the same night as not the bye week. This was not last year, but this season. That's still happening.
This season? Did he get suspended this fucking season?
Yeah.
I don't even remember that. Okay.
So I got Will Fuller, Colin Johnson, the 2022 second-round pick, and 2023 first-round pick for Chase Edmonds, Nyheim Hines, and Deebo Samuel. I was trying to get rid of Samuel. I remember that. And Hines and Edmonds, I was never going to start because I have Barkley, Chubb, Dobbins, Swift, and then Kareem Hunt, and different backup running backs. So I was happy with that trade.
I think anyone would have been happy with that trade.
Yeah.
I was worried because I forgot what exactly I was thinking. Did I spend a lot to get Will Fuller? But then I remembered I was pushing the fact that he was making a playoff run, and I was like, you need running backs. And so, yeah.
Well, regardless of that, I mean, considering his injury and suspension history, that's a scary name. that's probably a pass, and I don't own him anywhere. But if
I
I
don't
did,
fret. Apparently, his doctor recommended something, and then
Of course.
it turned out it wasn't accepted. Like, it wasn't according to the
Probably for those
wasn't
faulty
up to
hammies.
par.
Yeah.
I'm still putting that as a negative on someone, even if that's on him or his doctor. But someone's got to look into it. You can't if you're an NFL player, you should be wary of what you're putting in your body.
Well, I'm hoping that the reason why he wasn't getting injured this season was because of that.
Because he was taking some steroids that he's not going to be able to take in future seasons.
So hopefully, but moving on, I'm gonna go to this duo. These are two tight ends that I loved coming into this year: Jonnu Smith and Austin Hooper. And I guess I'll hand it off to you guys
Smith
before
is
I
a free
explain
agent,
my
right?
point. Huh?
Smith is a free agent.
It was
So
I didn't know.
That's my fear with Smith is that look what happened to Hooper.
What?
I said my fear with Smith would be look what happened to Hooper.
Yeah.
I mean, Hooper had I get that he was like injured for part of it and he had a new team, but regardless, I mean, he for fantasy purposes, that was a total bust.
Yeah.
I mean, he went from top 2 tight end to you probably dropped him in standard format.
Yeah.
And I mean, Smith is talented. Where's he going to go? It's scary.
Ed, you have any words before I?
I mean, I'd
I
probably
get it for cheap though.
cut or sell them both, honestly. I don't have any infatuation with them.
Oh, yeah, Hooper. I'm not buying him, but I don't even know if I'd sell him. I'd probably hold him into next season just to see if there's a turnaround.
Yeah.
At this point, based on what he just did, I'm not going to get anything for him.
Yeah. So I
Smith,
have
I'd be
them.
interested in buying if I could have him for cheap. But
Yeah. I have them as sells. One, which is Jonnu Smith, on one hand, started off strong and ended weak, and then on the other hand, you have Austin Hooper, who started off weak and ended average. He performed the end of his season. I think the last 3 games he scored double-digit numbers, so probably top 12 tight end, maybe. I'm not sure how many tight ends performed, and then in the playoffs, you have recency bias. He performed pretty well in the wild card match against Steelers. So that's why I look at Hooper, and I think recency bias, you might find someone that's willing to put in an offer. I didn't know at the time that Jonnu Smith was on a contract year. So I don't know. I would say I like that, but at the same time, the Titans utilize their tight end. So I feel like this is probably best case scenario, I would like to say. Because, if you went to, I don't know, if you went to the Bears, that would be kind of nice because they love their tight ends. And Jimmy Graham's probably – is he
Cole
retired?
Komet to God.
Yeah, but
I can't. I feel like Komet has to be in their plans. I can't see
But
him throwing big money.
yeah, but I'm thinking now that I know that, I don't know how to feel about it because I would even think more so sell Smith now because at the time I wrote down here in my notes, I think Jonnu has more of a long-term upside, and now that I know,
The problem is that if I'm selling these guys and I'm not getting anything for them, I don't know
you
who's
might as
giving.
well just keep them.
Yeah, at that point, because they've shown the ability to be starting tight ends. So I don't want to sell these guys for nothing.
Yeah.
And then watch them turn around and be starting tight end. Oh,
that's fair. That's what I did with well, I'm not even gonna bring it up. That's not even that possession group.
Yeah. What players?
Josh Allen. Last season, I was in love with Josh Allen last season, and then
Yeah,
That was just a season early.
and sometimes we need to put our own emotions aside and think, like, what could actually happen with this guy? Not, what do I think is going to happen? You're not always right. That is all of us.
Yeah. All right, who else got something to share?
All right, I'll go. Laviska Shenault.
Brandon?
I could imagine you wouldn't have to spend a lot for him. So I think I would go for Shenault. I don't know. I don't mind Shenault, especially their head coach got fired, Jacksonville, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're starting fresh.
I don't know. That's rough. That team it's gonna look so much different. So I think of it as like, who knows? Like, who knows what coach is brought in? Who knows how they're gonna run? I mean, is it gonna be an Adam Gase, or is it gonna be someone useful? I don't know.
I think
I don't mind that.
we could always fuck it up,
though.
but to me, they've got to be like one of the higher
Places to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I bet they're going to be high on the priority list, especially like for GMs. Like, they're probably the destination one for any GMs looking for jobs, and like, I can't imagine coaches are going to see much different than that. I mean, they don't have much on defense, but they've got a shit ton of cap space. They're going to have Trevor Lawrence, and they've got two very good young receivers. Like, I am buying Laviska Shenault if I can. It's like, the dude showed a lot of flashes. He looked really good at Colorado, and he was playing with fucking like Mike Lennon last year. He looks pretty good, and him and DJ Chark would be a pretty exciting tandem of receivers for Trevor Lawrence. I mean,
James Robinson. Now that I'm thinking about it, that offense is going to look good. They just need a tight end. JuJu Smith.
Need an offensive line.
Oh my God. We just
Jonnu
solved their
Smith.
freaking
They need
issues.
an offensive line. What they need. But
I mean, you probably got Shenault for like a 3rd round pick. So
I mean, Shenault was
anywhere from where you are now is nothing but up. So
I don't remember what Shenault was.
Let me check on Chenault's draft capital. 2nd rounder, 206. By me. I traded him.
then you immediately traded him for the 3rd round pick
No way.
for next year.
No. I traded him, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Duke Johnson, Anthony McFarland for JuJu Smith-Schuster. Yeah, and Jonathan Taylor. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, so I would buy him. For sure. No doubt.
And then I traded him away, and then I traded back for him.
Yeah.
Holding him very tightly.
Very tightly. Caress him a little bit. Yeah, you got him for fucking Ben Roethlisberger. It's blasphemy. It's blasphemy. Complete blasphemy. You know why? Why? Alex, you tell him why.
Because he thought Ben Roethlisberger was good luck for his team.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I guess anyone who thinks anyone's good luck is his thing. But he said the only time he's ever won is either with Ben Roethlisberger, whether he was on his bench or as he was starting. And I don't even think he really knew who that was. I was like, what about this guy? Like, sure.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, well, it is what it is, I suppose. Anyway.
That's how you should go acquire him in your own league.
Yeah, if you find any
who doesn't know who he is.
Yeah, that's the way to go.
You should acquire everyone. Ed, let's hear these names.
All right. Birds fans. I have 2 birds.
Oh.
All right, so first one, Jalen Reagor.
All right. Yeah. Hold.
So, I don't know. I have him, and I'm kind of just...
He's probably more buy for me because I feel like given his season, you're not really going to trade him for a whole lot.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to offer a whole lot, but if I can get that discounted price tag, I'll take him.
I agree.
This year was an absolute shit show for the Eagles all around, and next year's probably not going to be any better. So maybe just hold off a little bit. Trade for him next year when we're doing terrible into.
He might.
Although maybe we get another receiver and like run a coherent offense.
He might thrive at 2. That's a possibility.
I mean, he looked horrible at times this season. Like, showed flashes of usefulness, and he was a rookie. And like, not every rookie wide receiver has to blow the league up immediately.
Sure. Sure.
But Gabriel Davis has to.
He said Gabriel Davis.
But he didn't.
Moving on.
Second bird.
Oh no.
I know this one's a hard buy for me.
Miles Sanders, yeah.
Immediate buy, yes. If I can get Miles Sanders, yes, that is an extreme buy for me. Because, like, Doug's gone. That means the next coach is probably going to give him the fucking ball.
I'm
Bye.
concerned.
Bye.
You don't think
Bye.
Boston Scott?
Well, no. Boston Scott's gonna vulture. No. Any team that's willing to give Adam Gase a shot at being their head coach, even if it's just an interview.
No.
Yeah, that was fake news.
What? That was just fake news?
Yeah, it was fake news.
I was just saying, I didn't read that.
I didn't either. I just read the text saying that you said.
I didn't actually look that up because I couldn't bring myself to do it.
Bro, I went up to
people
so many of my coworkers.
Facts.
And complain. I legitimately had a spiel for 15 minutes about who Adam Gase is and how garbage he is.
Nobody knew him?
And how
point out, Jordan, but
well, the 2 people I was talking to didn't know how bad he actually was.
No.
And I had to enlighten them.
Out here, Brandon.
And I was telling them how the Eagles interviewed them, but now
I get the outrage. I get the would-be outrage over that, but it doesn't make any damn sense. If they hired Adam Gase, then you can be concerned. But if they bring in a coach, the coach is going to do what he wants to do. It's not going to have anything to do with Adam Gase. So that's actually kind of stupid, if you ask me.
I'm getting rid of any player that is associated with Adam Gase is not on my roster.
Jalen Reagor, send him over.
Yeah, I would. I would get rid of him. Any Eagle, I will ship off.
To be honest, if Adam Gase did get hired, I probably wouldn't want Jalen Reagor even for a second.
I mean, I wouldn't want anyone if Adam Gase.
Miles Sanders if they signed freaking Adam Gase.
Frank Gore.
Yeah, they'd pick up Frank Gore and start him.
Thanks.
I made that comment about I wouldn't watch the Eagles if they hired Adam Gase. I stand by that comment. I wouldn't because it's just not worth it to me. I'm not fucking dealing with it. But I don't think they'd hire him because if Lurie fired a guy who just won a Super Bowl a few years ago for underperforming, I don't think he's going to hire the guy that – I don't think he's going to hire Adam fucking Gase and be like, oh, well, look, this is an upgrade. If he was that stupid.
He wouldn't be an owner. Well, yeah.
No, he still probably would.
Need owners make stupid-ass decisions. Unfortunately, being an NFL owner has more to do with money than intelligence. I don't think Lurie is that dumb.
Let's hope not.
Looking into the future. Something we already know. Broncos running backs. Get rid of them all.
Yeah.
Lindsey and Gordon. Scrap them.
If you could really get anything for Lindsey, I could get Gordon.
This offense is going to look a lot similar to last season unless they make some big changes. And last season, they had more upside with not knowing what Drew Lock was, not knowing how this offense would really run.
Maybe they'll have more upside. They'll get Sutton back. They'll have Judy and Hamler in here too. Trade up for Jack Wilson.
If they bring in a quarterback, sure.
Still don't care about the running back.
But Drew Lock, has just been, I don't know. I
I
don't know what
know.
he is. He's like Gardner Minshew, kind of. I mean, I don't even know if he's
Just
up to
a
par
guy.
with Gardner.
He is like Gardner Minshew.
He
In
brings
fact,
the swag,
Jag.
sure, but
Sometimes.
Jags. One of them is a Jaguar, the other one is a Jag. But again, they're
Jaguar.
and he's a sell, or not he, but both of them two guys are a sell. So yeah,
I agree.
I got two more. I don't know how many either you got.
3.
Three. All right.
you guys talk because again, I didn't want to bring up specific.
We can breeze through these unless they're controversial.
Wait, who?
You. Well,
Okay.
we can go back and forth.
JuJu.
All right. I would say what? I'm gonna guess that's for a buy
Yeah.
in
I
hopes
wouldn't
he
want to
shows
pressure
up somewhere with a good
until I
quarterback.
figure out where he's going. Yeah, uncertain situation to me. I don't like it.
Well, JuJu, I feel like I don't know. I feel like his price tag is kind of high, and if he goes somewhere, like good with a better, more upside type of quarterback, I feel like his value. I don't know. Would it go much higher than it? Because his name value already brings, the bar pretty high.
I mean, depending on where the team went to, and yeah, I think that would change how people felt about him.
He would become untouchable if he got
He signed with
signed with
I
the
could see people
Chiefs.
fucking salivating over him.
Who? With where?
I feel like New England, I could see people just salivating over him, regardless of the fact that they don't currently have a quarterback.
So maybe that's why you buy them now.
Yeah, I'm buying him at all costs. Probably he's one of those players that I'm buying like regardless because even I don't think Ben's staying around. I think he's retiring. But even if it's not, I don't know. He managed this year. Like he was viable, I guess. But I still only like 23, 24. He's still got a super high ceiling, I think. And I don't know. He's just been able to produce, and I think he's a good wide receiver. He plays slot. I mean, that's good targets. I don't know. I just like him. I like him. Regardless of
That's
where he
fair.
goes and if he stays, he's good. I like him. Buying him.
And my Brandon, here were these names.
P.J. Hockenson. What you guys think?
I'd buy him if I could
Ooh,
get him, but like
not
top
sure what that look was, Ed.
don't exactly like come cheap.
Yes. Swag don't come cheap. TJ Hockenson don't come cheap. Probably not selling him. He's too like the tight end market.
Sell him just because there's like 6 tight ends out there. So unless I'm
Yeah.
trading him for another tight end, like I'm fucked.
Yeah. That's probably my thinking. Unless isn't there like 2 decent tight ends this year in the draft? I think obviously if you're competing right now, I probably
Don't
wouldn't take a
matter.
risk on them.
I think Pitts is a very exciting option at tight end, and then there's the Penn State guy, a lot, and I don't know where the fuck he's going. So I feel like the only guy to really get excited about right now in Dynasty would probably be Pitts, because he's got like top 5 talent,
Top 5 what?
like draft pick talent. I don't think he'll go top 5, but like he'll be discussed. Like, the dude's very good, even for like a tight end.
Like NFL draft pick top 5? That's wild. Wait.
Or like a weapon.
Oh yeah.
I just think he's very talented. He probably won't go tight end. I mean, top 5 because he's tight end. But like, I
I
think
didn't know if you meant that or like dynasty pick wise. I didn't know which one you were referring to.
I doubt that. But like, he's like, you can use like I use the word weapon instead of tight end. Like,
Yeah.
that's how teams are going to view him. So I mean, that would be someone I'm excited about. I could see he's probably gonna be a first round pick. I imagine
Oh yeah.
in dynasty format.
Good enough. Yeah, but I wouldn't sell Hockenson unless I'm upgrading to say like a Kelsey for a few years, you know. But even then, I don't know. I don't see a point in it.
Yeah, I feel like you'd probably have to attach a lot to Hockenson to get Kelsey. But if I could attach not a lot to Hockenson for Kelsey, I'd definitely do that.
So that would be selling, Alex.
No.
No,
You're
he doesn't sell.
You're selling Hockenson.
No. Okay.
And more.
All right, well, who was the receiver we mentioned earlier? Like
Gabriel Davis.
Okay. No, we're going to stick with JuJu because JuJu's better. Ed just said he's buying JuJu at all costs. Ed, if I turn around and offer you D-Hop JuJu, what are you going to do?
D-Hop for JuJu?
Yeah, I'm giving you D-Hop. You get JuJu. I mean, I get JuJu. I'm giving you D-Hop. Exactly.
Yeah.
No, not selling Hockenson just because I would trade him for Travis Kelce.
Can't believe you would do him like that.
Yeah.
Wait, JuJu or Kelsey or who? Me? I don't know what's happening.
Nothing.
I'm
Nothing. All right.
kind of
Nothing's happening.
What
Just
Brandon said
proving
makes
me wrong, apparently. That's what's happening. So
What
let's
if
just
the
move
conversation
on. I am the reigning crowned victor of our rewards episode, so
Not in our fantasy leagues, though.
I have the right to just move conversations along as I want. And now's the time, Ed. What's going
Ed,
on?
put him on hold.
Blocked.
Put him on hold, and let's talk about this next player.
Yeah, he's muted. Anyway, all right. So I get. But do you have anybody else, Alex, or no?
No.
No. All right.
I have overridden your
muted
your
again.
host.
Muted one more time. All right.
Put him on
We
mute.
got Calvin.
Put him in the waiting room.
He's in the waiting room already. All right, Calvin Ridley.
I am recording. If you put me in the waiting room, we start this all over.
It's a war.
I
Calvin
mean,
Ridley.
It's a coup. Calvin
Probably
Ridley.
under Ridley. I think he's a top caliber receiver, and if I have I'd buy him if I could, but probably have to pay a whole lot.
I
would probably just treat him like any other top receiver.
see when it comes to Calvin Ridley, I would personally get annoyed by his performances because he blows up and then he just does nothing, and then he blows up and then he does nothing. I don't know. I know he's good. I know he's a good fantasy.
Healthy next year, maybe he'd be a little more consistent like he was in the first half of the previous season. But I think if I was trying to trade for him, he would be treated as a top receiver.
I mean, what's going to happen when Matt Ryan retires, or when he's in the back half of his career, which he already is in? So, you got JuJu, Ben Roethlisberger situation.
I mean, I personally. So this is my thinking with Calvin Ridley. He's probably one of those wide receivers I'd probably take at all costs again, because he's proven it. He's proven his ability. Possibly, Matt Ryan's 35, so he's kind of he's an elderly man. I don't know if he's going to stay there. I don't know if he's going to be benched. I don't know if he's going to be starting. I don't know what's happening, but Calvin Ridley's still good enough to overcome that. You know what I mean? 35-year-old Matt Ryan, he's still putting up numbers. Even if they draft a new quarterback, what is their pick? Top 10, possibly?
Top 4. They're 4th overall.
Oh yeah, that's even better, possibly.
Yeah, I don't care if Gardner fucking Minshew's going there and throwing the ball to Calvin Ridley. I'll take it.
Yeah, he's good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bye. All right. Bye.
I've got Darius Slayton. I have him as, I'm just going to say it, I've got him as a sell.
Yeah.
He's another one of those names that he's another one of those names that I don't want to sell because he just didn't really do a whole lot last year, and I don't know what I'm going to get for him. So I'd rather just hold on to him and hope that they get a quarterback, and he can have a better season. And I know that you're going to dislike him because you were super high on him coming into the year, and he did not reach your expectations. So now you're pissed off and bitter at him, and you're just trying to get rid of him at any cost. But these are the type of emotional decisions that I have strived to no longer make as a fantasy member.
And it's also because I see no future changes within this offense. Other than getting Saquon Barkley back, I see this offense staying the same for the next few years. I don't see them
next
making
season,
any
well,
game.
they're probably going to fire Gettleman after like he screws up again this offseason, like he does every offseason. So maybe the next GM is going to come in. He's not going to have any attachment.
So how many years is
Yeah,
that?
guys.
That's a year later, and then you integrate a whole new freaking
It's
scheme.
dynasty, man. Dynasty's years.
Well, when it comes to
If he's a good receiver, he's a good receiver. I'm not worried about the scheme. I'm just worried about the fucking quarterback. Daniel Jones miss him more times than I have him not. He needs to be better, but he's young. We'll get there. Or maybe he won't. But I'm willing to take that gamble. Brandon, you're not. You get rid of it. It happens.
well, that's that. Ed, do you have thoughts, or are you going into your last pick?
I don't know what to label him. I was throwing up in the beginning, and then I was thinking about it, and it's like there really is nothing going for him. You know what I mean? You have Daniel Jones. You're stuck with him for at least the next year. So possibly don't buy him until next year, maybe? If he shows another couple flashes. How old is he? Like 24?
He's young.
I mean, this is his second.
I don't disagree. He's good. It's just that I'm not willing to wait that long for an organization that hasn't shown anything for the past few years. Like,
if I can get him for dirt cheap, I'm willing to wait.
Yeah.
You got to be willing to sit on assets.
I'd probably wait on him for a year. I probably wouldn't buy him. Probably wouldn't sell him. Hold him. But it's like a low grade hold, you know.
It's a low grade hold.
I went from yakking in my mouth to.
So if people offer you enough, you would sell him.
Probably, yeah.
I think he's like the type of guy that I feel like I just would have thrown into a trade.
Mm-hmm.
Toss him in, who could like then blow up later, and no,
sure.
Stupid.
You live and you learn, I suppose.
Yeah, at least I'm attempting.
He's attempting to learn. Round of applause. Brandon, do you have another pick, or did you just finish?
I'm good.
Word. Final pick. Final player. Final buy, sell, hold. AJ Dillon.
Ooh.
No,
I don't know.
He doesn't know.
I need to hear your argument before I say what I would think.
He's a player that I pretty much just seen his name and I said, ooh, he seems like a polarizing player, you know, because he had one game where he had an actual workload, you know. Maybe people who liked him coming in, you know, they use that as like a reinforcement to their argument of him being good. Because he produced off of it, obviously, but he had no other role outside of that. Maybe like 2 carries a game, 1 carry a game, if that. And Aaron Jones, I think, is a free agent, if I'm not mistaken. If it's not Jamal Williams, I don't know who it is.
Jones is a free agent.
And then maybe they use a second-round pick to actually draft him to use him. Possibly. That might be a thought, you know. But, yeah, I really don't know where I stand with him. I'd probably hold him, and I wouldn't buy him, and I wouldn't sell him. Because, sure, he showed it in one game where he had 25 carries, that he could do something with it. But, I mean, who knows if that's ever going to happen again? And who knows if that's going to be more consistent? Who knows if maybe that was flash in the pan? I don't know. I really don't know. So I'm holding.
Yeah, I mean, like, if someone's just kind of tossing him away, like,
he's a name I would take.
Oh, yeah.
Like, if a trade needed a tip in one direction on the scale of fantasy trading value, that's a name I would think that people wouldn't have much value on. So if I need just a little bit more value from an offer, I would throw that name in for sure.
Yeah, the intrigue of the unknown, I guess, kind of gets me excited as a throw-in. Yeah, but I'm not going for him. You know what I mean?
Second, so I would hope, or I would imagine that they plan on giving him a role sometime. But you never know.
Never know.
If they just decide he sucks.
Maybe he decides he sucks. Who knows?
Not a good career choice. Or, I mean, not a good career.
I suck.
Nice.
I know I just got this starting job, but I just suck, Coach.
Coach,
You
I don't
just
want the
bench me for
fucking
the rest
ball.
of the year.
Coach, I don't want to play. I just want to be a backup and earn $1 million. Like, let me
I just
live,
want to
Coach.
stand on the sideline and not get concussion. Not
Maybe
get
that's what Joe Mixon did.
But
Ah!
Sign the
Joe
contract so you
Burrow
put the
got
pen
hurt.
down.
Ah! My
I'm
groin.
not mad at him for that. I'm mad at the Bengals for telling me that he was questionable before bye and then like holding him out another 2 months.
Yeah, that was something.
Math does not add up. Yeah, he might play this week. Also, he's not going to play the rest of the season, but he might play this week.
Quick before we head out of here, first of all, like, comment, share, subscribe, obviously. But Joe Mixon, buy, sell, or hold. This is the last word. We each have one word. Buy, sell, or hold. Joe Mixon, go.
Joe
Alex.
Mixon is a hold.
Yeah, I mean,
/buy.
I have him in our main dynasty, and like, I feel like there's a good chance I'm going to trade him in the offseason, but it's mainly because I've spent the last 4 months trying to drum up like better than average trade offers for him. I'm not giving him up for nothing, though. I'm treating him like an RB1.
Yeah, I'm selling him.
What? All
right, that's all she wrote. We'll probably have another one of these episodes sometime soon. Probably not soon, but around draft time, maybe after combine, maybe right before draft, maybe after draft, maybe like right before the season, things like that. So
after draft.
Keep an eye out. Like, comment, share, subscribe, like I said, and First Choice Betting has an episode coming out as well for the divisional round, so keep an eye on that. We appreciate y'all. First Choice Fantasy. Deuce.
Good night.
Later.
Good afternoon.